Hi everyone, welcome to another Procreate tutorial. This is the drawing that we will be completing in today's video. If you are new here, I mainly post Procreate tutorials, so if that is something you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe. Otherwise, before we get started, the only thing that you will need to do is download the color palette. I have it linked in the description below. It's totally free to download. Just open up the file that downloads and it'll automatically pop into Procreate so that you can use the same colors as you follow along with the video today. So take a second to go and grab that and then come back and we'll get started. First things first, we'll go over our canvas dimensions. They are 10 inches by 10 inches at 300 dpi. The color profile that I'm using is the second one on the RGB list. And for our layers today, by the end of the video, we only use 3 layers, so you only need that many available. You should have that many, but you can check here, and you can always lower your DPI here if you need more layers. And this is our color palette that we're using today. Pretty simple, black and white, and then a bunch of fun colors. So let's just go ahead and get started. So we will open up our layer menu, click on the background color layer, and set it to the first color on the color palette, the dark black. Next, we will grab the second color on the top row of our color palette. We will be on layer 1 and we will be set to our monoline brush. And let's set the size of that to maybe 50%. And the first thing that we are going to do is draw our triangle outlines, and we are going to do that using symmetry. So let's grab the gear icon in the top left corner here, turn on the drawing guide, click edit drawing guide, click symmetry. And we are going to use quadrant symmetry today. So we are going to have a line going up and down and side to side. I am going to select maybe this bright white color over here so that I can see the line a bit better. And then click done. So now you can hopefully see your line on your canvas. And we are going to get started. Go to the layer menu, make sure that this layer that we are on now says assisted. If it does not, you can click on it and turn on drawing assist so that it should say assisted then. So we are going to draw a horizontal line in the middle and then a triangular shape on the top and bottom. So let's just go ahead and get started. We will start maybe about halfway through the right side of the canvas here. About halfway through, right on the center line. Draw a line going to the left, hold it down, touch your finger to the screen to make it perfectly horizontal, and then click edit shape at the top and drag them together so that it looks like you just have one line rather than, 2 lines on top of each other. We want it to be one pretty thin line, so drag them together till you get that effect. And then click the pen tool again. Starting on the right side here, right at the end point, draw a line going towards the middle line, hold it down, touch your finger to the screen to get a nice angle here, and then draw until your points meet at the top. If you need to, you can click edit shape at the top and adjust them so they meet here and meet here, and don't go off the screen or anything, so you should have a nice shape that looks like this. Now we are going to continue to draw the rest of our designs here. So let's start on the top and we will draw the mountain scene, and then we'll flip it around and do the desert scene on the other side. So I'll start with the mountain scene. I do want to change the symmetry for this because I do want to use symmetry for part of this, but I don't want the quadrant symmetry where it mirrors on the bottom. So I am going to go back to my gear icon, click on edit drawing guide, and click the options under symmetry here and just set it to vertical, and then click done. Again, we're still on this same layer. It should still say assisted, and we are just going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to have 3 mountains here, 1 big one in the middle and 2 smaller ones on the side. So let's start with the middle one. So I'm just going to start on my center line here, maybe 1/3 of the way up in this triangle shape here, and draw a line going down and to the right. Hold it down until it turns perfectly. Draw a line going down to the middle, hold it down till it turns perfectly straight, And then just adjust the angle till we get a nice little mountain shape like this. Touch your finger to the screen to get you a nice, perfectly straight angle there. And then on the right side here, starting at this point where it met the middle, I'm going to draw another line straight up and to the right. Hold it down again, touch my finger to the screen to get this angle again. But it's going to be shorter than our one before, just about this tall. Let that go. And then at that point, again, draw another straight line going down and to the right. Hold it down, touch your finger to the screen to get that same angle. You can tell it's the same angle because it's similar to the one before. If otherwise, like the next one's way out here, and you can tell that that is not the correct angle that we want to use. So let's go ahead and set it about here and then let go. Now we are going to turn symmetry off. So let's just go to this layer here, click on the layer and turn off drawing assist. We still see the line in the middle, that's okay for now. But for now, we will just continue on our scene here. So for each of these mountains, I'm going to draw a few straight horizontal lines. So let's just start on this left one here. I'm going to start on the left side towards the bottom. So I'm going to draw 3 lines in this mountain here. So let's go up a little bit, draw a line going all the way, going straight across, hold it down, touch your finger to the screen to make it perfectly horizontal. And then I'm stopping it short of the edge here. So it's just a partial line like this, but it connects on this side, doesn't connect on this side. We'll go up a little further, do the same thing, and this time it'll be a little bit shorter. And then one more here, a very, very small one, like this. Next, when we move on to the big mountain, we'll do about the same thing. This time we can probably have 5 lines going through, but let's just kind of try to match the distance between these lines. So, just start a little bit up from the bottom, draw one straight across, hold it down, touch your finger to the screen, go up a little bit more, straight across, a little further in, another one. Try to space them out evenly. This one got a little further away, so I'll move it down. This one got a little too close, move that one up. And we'll just do one more here towards the top. Maybe move it a little bit down. Something like that, and then do 3 on this one like we did with our first one. Next, we are going to draw our moon. So I am just going to pick this top left corner for our moon. So to do a moon, I am going to first draw a circle, hold it down, touch my finger to the screen to make it a perfect circle. We are going to do a crescent moon, so I'm just going to use my eraser tool and I'm going to erase most of the right side. I'm not going to do it right in the middle of the circle, but just pretty close to the middle. And then I'm going to use my pen tool again and draw another circle next to it like this. Hold it down, touch my finger to the screen to make it a perfect circle. And then I'm just going to drag it until it makes a nice crescent shape with my other circle here. Adjust it a little even. And then again, use my eraser tool and I'm going to erase most of this side here till we get a nice crescent shape on our moon. Erase all the rest of it. And then I am just going to zoom in a little bit and I am going to kind of erase these in like a circular motion to kind of get a nice like circular edge to our shape here. Kind of like this. If you need to, I might even just grab my pen tool and kind of make a little circle with my pen on the edges here to make it a nice round shape. Something like that. Then to continue this picture, I'm going to make some little plus signs. So some small straight lines. So I draw a straight line, touch my screen to make it perfectly vertical. Another line, hold it down, touch it to make it perfectly horizontal. We'll draw a few of those in these empty spaces. Maybe just the 3 that we have now. And then otherwise I'm just going to make some dots for some other stars. kind of scattered around the picture as well in the rest of the space to fill it in. Maybe about like that. So that is it for our mountain scene there. So now we will flip our canvas. So I'm just going to rotate it with my fingers to work on the other side here. So this is going to be more of a desert scene. So we are going to start by drawing some cacti on the ground. Just some very simple ones. We'll do 2 cacti of varying shapes and then a couple rocks in between as well. So let's start on the left area here, maybe about halfway between this middle line and the edge of our triangle. So I am just going to draw an ovular shape, hold it down until it turns perfectly smooth, and then just adjust it so that it touches our middle line here. And just kind of adjust the size and maybe the shape of it. I might just have it leaning a little bit to the right to kind of just make it a little different. And then I'm going to draw 2 smaller ovals off of that shape. 1 on each side, hold them down as well until they turn perfectly smooth. And then I am just going to draw some little pricklies going off of it as well. All the way around. And then I might do some dots on the main part as well to indicate more pricklies. Then I will make a smaller one over here doing about the same thing. Kind of a tilted oval shape. Not super tilted, just a little bit. And then maybe another oval on this side. That one got a little too big and a little too fat. So we will just adjust it a little bit. And then maybe one on the top here as well. Something like that. And then again, add some pricklies. I'm not holding my pen down when I draw these, but you totally can if you want to, if you're struggling to make them pretty straight. I just draw kind of quickly in a quick motion to get them to look pretty straight, but if you need to hold each one down to get a nice straight line, you can do so. So that's it for the cacti, and then I am going to just draw some like 3-sided rocks. So I drew 1 line, held it down, draw another line, hold it down, and then draw 1 more to go back to the ground. I'm not making these at any certain angles. I'm not making them perfectly horizontal or anything, just kind of random. And maybe this one will be 4-sided over here. Okay, so now we have that part done. So then lastly, we'll add our sun. Since this one had the moon, we will have a sun in this one. So I'm going to make a perfect circle in the sky up here, hold it down, touch my finger to the screen. I'm going to click edit shape and drag it to the right side a little bit. So we want it to be more so on the right side than the left side, about in the middle between our cacti and the top of our triangle here. So there's plenty of room up top and plenty of room towards our cacti as well. And then we are going to make the rays on our sun, and we want them to be perfect. And we are going to use symmetry, but this time we are going to use radial symmetry. So let's go back to our gear icon, click edit drawing guide. It should be set to symmetry already. And then we will click on options and set it to radial. And again, make sure that you can see your lines. So set it to a pretty bright white color over here if you can. And then I am going to drag this center point towards the center of my sun, as close as I can get it to the center there. And then click done. However, we aren't going to set our layer to assisted. I just want the lines to kind of visualize where my lines need to be. So do not turn drawing assist on for this layer to actually use the symmetry function. We're just kind of using it as a guide. So I'm just going to start on this bottom one here. So I'm going to start a little bit away from my circle of my sun, draw a straight line following this line, hold it down, touch my finger to the screen to make sure I'm following this line perfectly. And then I'm stopping short of my next shape here, and I'm going to do that for each one. Then we will go to the next line and do the same thing. Hold it down, touch your finger to the screen, and again stop short of this next shape and short of our circle. Next line, do the same thing. Click edit shape if you need to kind of adjust them. Just get as close to the line angle as you can, but you might need to adjust sometimes if you get a little too close to either the circle or the edge of the next shape. And then I'm going to go in between each angle and just draw a much shorter line and hold it down and then just kind of try to match the angle that would look like it would fit in between those. So just do a very small line each time. And over here they'll be pretty small compared to our other ones, since those ones are already small. Something like that it should look like now. So that is it for our main picture. So now we're going to add a blur around them and then color the blur to make it look like the whole thing is glowing. So what we are going to do is go to our layer menu, make a duplicate of this layer, click on the one below it, click the wand icon, click Gaussian Blur, and drag this up to maybe 20%. Then that is going to be the glow for our neon. It's way too dull right now, so I am going to go to my layer menu, make a duplicate of this blurry layer. So now it got quite a bit brighter. So we will just start with that and we can adjust it more later, but I am going to go to my layer menu, snap these two layers together so they're all on one layer, all of our blurriness. Click on it, turn on alpha lock for this layer, and now we will start adding our colors. So we will go to our color palette, select the first color on the second row, and for our colors we are going to use the soft brush under the airbrushing category. Set it to about 10 to 15%. And again, with our colors here, I have them split up. The first 5 will go on the top where the cacti are, and the bottom colors will go with the moon and the mountains. So I have 5 colors to lay out on each section. So again, we'll start with this first red. We'll do that just on the top section. You can barely see it. We're gonna have to make it brighter. Do the orange on the next section, and so on, until we get to the bottom, and then the green will be our last color on this half at the very bottom there. Then we'll switch to our second row of colors and start there, meeting in the middle, and then continue on all the way down. Until we get to our last color, which we will just finish off on the tip here. So now that that's all colored in, you can tell it's obviously a little too dull still. So now that we have those all laid out though, we can do some more adjusting. So let's go to our layer menu, make a duplicate of this now colored bright layer. And that looks pretty good. I like the way that that looks. If you want it brighter, you can make another duplicate. If you want it less bright, even with these 2 layers, if you just have 2 layers and you want it to be less bright, you can click on one of them, click on the N, and drag the opacity down to get a nice like in between kind of glow. So do some duplicating and adjusting if you need to. When you get it to where you like it, since I have multiple layers here, I will just snap them together so they're all on one layer. And even if you just have the one layer and it's too bright, you can click the N and lower the opacity still to make some adjustments. But I like the way that that looks now. I will go to my gear icon and turn off the drawing guide. I don't need to see those lines anymore. And then to finish it off, we are going to go to our layer menu, add a new layer. Let's just drag it to the top. It doesn't really matter though. And then we are going to add some fun light stuff around it. So we're going to go into the luminance category here and click on the pulse brush. And we'll set that to maybe 25%. Just click on any of your colors. The pulse brush does a weird thing where it kind of changes colors as you go. So I'm just going to add a few sections for each color. So this orangish color is turning purple and blue. Then maybe I'll switch to a purple color, see what that gives me. Kind of just some more bright white. Maybe we'll do a blue. Gives me a little bit of like yellow kind of. And I'm just adding this just right to the edges, not going over my picture at all, kind of following the same like triangular shape and leaving it kind of blank there. I'll just add in a little bit of this to just kind of finish off our picture. So I like the way that that looks. I'll stop there. And that is it for our drawing today. I hope you had fun. If you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more tutorials from me in the future. If you would like to share your drawing on Instagram, I would love to see it. So go ahead and post it and then tag me so that I can check it out. While you're there, go ahead and give me a follow so that you can see what I'm working on next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.